নমস্কার, আমি পবিশা। আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগত পবিশাস জ্ঞানে। আজকের মেন গেস্ট আপনি একটু দেবাশিস বাবু সম্বন্ধে
আচ্ছা, আজকে আমার আইডল আমাদের মিটে এসেছিলেন দেবাশিস নিয়োগী দাদা। তো দেবাশিস নিয়োগীকে আমি লাস্ট 10 বছর ধরে চিনি। মানে উনি আমার মতে মেরিকো বা প্যারাশুট আমরা যে তেল ইউজ করি, তো ওনার মালিক হর্ষ মারিওয়ালাকে রিপোর্ট করতেন। অ্যান্ড হর্ষ মারিওয়ালা একজন সেলফ টট সেলফ মেড ম্যান, যে নিজের দমে একটা 87,000 কোটি টাকার ব্যবসা দাঁড় করেছিল। তো কেউ যদি তাকে রিপোর্ট করে 16 বছর লাইফের, সে কত কিছু শিখতে পারে। তো ওই ধরনের ব্যক্তিত্ব যখন আরওসিতে আসে, নিজের একটা পেপটক দেয়, তো সবাই মানে এনার্জি তো অনেকটা বাড়েই, আর মোটিভেশনও প্রচুর পায়। তো আজকের দিনটা আমাদের সবার জন্য খুবই স্পেশাল। উনি এসেছিলেন, উনি নতুন যারা এন্টারপ্রেনার তাদেরকে বোঝালেন যে ওনার কি কি লার্নিং রয়েছে, কোথায় ভুল করেছেন, নিজের সাকসেস স্টোরির কথা বললেন। হোপফুলি আমাদের 7th মিট যেটা সেপ্টেম্বরে হবে, ওটা একে হয়তো ছাড়িয়ে যাবে, কারণ লোকে যত জানতে পারছে তত আসছে। অ্যান্ড শার্ক ট্যাঙ্ক ব্যাপারটা স্টার্ট করেছিল, কিন্তু মানে নিজেদের মধ্যে যেই কানেকশন, যে নেটওয়ার্কিং এর ব্যাপারটা, মানে আমার মতে এর কোনো সাবস্টিটিউট নেই।
This amazing set of entrepreneurs. I've never faced more than 100 entrepreneurs in a room in Calcutta. This is the first time. And Arun is doing amazing work. Okay, I left Calcutta in India 22 years back. So now I'm based in Dubai. So that time there was no entrepreneurial culture. So what Arun and the team is doing here is building an ecosystem where you network against each other, you learn from each other, you collaborate. You are into competition, not competition, right? So from that perspective, this ecosystem which is getting built, I'm sure in the next 10 years will have a ripple effect. So congratulations to all of you and some amazing ideas. So some of you are very established entrepreneurs. Some of you have started, okay, and some of you are in between. So I don't want to make it a Gyannn session, where I just talk of my, success, whatever little I have achieved. It's about you. So I'm not giving you a formula, but given my experience, I just want to share stories, real life stories from where I have learned. If you get to learn anything from it, I'll be very happy. So Arun told me to speak for 30 minutes. If you don't learn anything, sorry, 30 minutes of your time is wasted in your life. Okay? So I'll try to make it interesting by giving real life examples. So a little bit about myself. By education, I'm a chartered accountant and a cost accountant. I started my function in the finance function. Then I went to become a CFO, but I never liked finance. So I always wanted to be, number one, to become a CEO. So I started the Bangladesh operations in Bangladesh as a CFO, where I set up everything a CFO would set up. I was the second employee there. The first employee was CEO, whom I was reporting to, and CEO was reporting to Harsh Mariwala. Then, as luck would have it, okay, since I was the second employee, I was into everything, okay, which is I learned on ground, okay, marketing, sales, everything. So these kind of environment where you're learning from each other, nowhere you learn, in a structured course. So this is a perfect setting which Arun has provided you all. Okay, I didn't have this 20 years back. So why I went to Bangladesh, that also is a story. See, the reason I moved out of Calcutta was again a story. Okay, because I always loved share market, capital market. So in 99, I was doing well in the capital market. Then I thought, let me take loan from the bank, okay, and leverage myself. So if my CTC means cost to company, 100 rupee, I'm just giving 100 as an index. 100 is my annual CTC. I took loans from 3 different banks, okay, and I was leveraged 3 times. So 300 was was invested, and I don't know how many of you remember or have studied later that in the dot-com bust, the tech bust, everything collapsed. So what I invested in 2000, that entire 300 in 1.5 years time became less than 30, less than 30. So that is the time when I, 98 I got married. I had my first, we were blessed with my first child in 2000. My brother married. He shifted to Calcutta from Delhi. He was looking out for job. My father retired. My father-in-law retired. So the entire family responsibility, family and extended responsibility was on me. And now I am almost bankrupt, right? You have taken loan 3 times your salary, which is 36 months of salary, and what you invested became less than 10%. So then I actually quit my job, and I was looking for higher salary in Calcutta. I got an offer from C Grants, and the salary they were paying double. So then Harsh called me, and then that point of time the CFO of Marico, he called me and said, "Why you're leaving?" I said, "I'm just leaving. I love the company. I would love to work for the company, but I'm just leaving because I'm completely debt-ridden, right?" So then they said that, "What about you going to Bangladesh? This role is very small for you because you're overqualified for the role. We are starting up operations there. Why don't you go?" I said, "As long as you're paying, I'm just leaving the salary. If I'm getting that salary which Seagram is offering, I'll go." So Harsh was very kind to offer that salary, and Milind, who was then the CFO, he was also kind. Since I'm a chartered accountant, he was a chartered accountant. There was a connect between us, and he knew that possibly I'll add value. So I went to Bangladesh as a CFO. Then we had the Big Four advising us in the Bangladesh operations. When you set up a new manufacturing unit, whether you get tax holiday or not. So they opine that you will not get a tax holiday. So I took that project on my shoulder, and I got a tax holiday for the company. So now that was the starting. Okay, and then, as I said, I never enjoyed CFO. As luck would have it, the CEO resigned, so I took up the CEO role. Okay, and then there was no looking back, personally and professionally. Why? Because your salary is very high, the expenses are taken care of by the company, and you have surplus, right? And that surplus I was deploying in the market. And whatever mistakes I made in my career till now, okay, I don't make the same mistake again. I make new mistakes, but I don't make the same mistake. So there was, from CFO, that you'll find very few people who from a finance function goes to a CEO function. So I became a CEO. Then I was promoted as the Southeast Asia head. Then I was promoted as MENA head. I was looking at 26 countries. And then I said, by the way, on the Bangladesh journey, what Arun said, whatever professional can do, I did in that state. I got manufacturing, I got three contract, third party manufacturing. I got the company listed. Very few people know that in Bangladesh, Marico is listed. So when I went, 1 crore was sent. When I left, the market cap was 1200 crores in a span of 8 years. And in those 8 years, the company became so big that we were the second largest multinational company there after Unilever. Before Reckitt, Asian Paints, Sun Pharma of the world. Okay, even bigger than Nestle. Okay, so now what I've learned in that state, and when I left, our market share from nowhere was 76%. I took the business when we had a loss of 1 crore. I left the business in 8 years when we had a profit of more than 100 crores. Now here I'm talking not to boast what I did. I want to tell you how I did and what I learned. So, so I want to tell about three things, and from three people whom I learned. First is Harsh Mariwala himself. He, like Arun said, he is possibly the best entrepreneurs of India. People who don't know, he didn't have a formal degree, and yet he made it up through reading and learning. And from what I learned from him, nothing can beat. So you will see Harsh's lot of interview. But I have worked with Marico for 19 years. Out of the 19 years, 16 years, Harsh has been my brand supervisor or supervisor. So I've worked closely with him. So I can tell you, as an entrepreneur, which all of you are, what made him successful. And what he says, I have learned, on the job. So first thing which he says is that get people who are better than you. Now this is so powerful. It's not easy. Get people better than you and leave it to them to manage. That is the reason, he has been able to build an empire, which when I joined the company, I think its market cap was 300 crores. Now I don't track. Possibly it is 75,000 crores market cap. Okay. So he has built it on key principles. First, he also worked like a startup. Okay. When he moved out of his family business in 90s and started with 100 people. And he had a very office in a wholesale market where if you call people for interview, no one will come, right? So he used to call interviews in a cafe and tell about the company and the dream, and who got sold to the dream and the concept, then he would bring them to office. So first thing is that get people who are better than you. Second is give them complete freedom to operate. But when you give freedom, review them regularly. So we used to have, I'll tell you, I did acquisitions in Bangladesh, I did acquisitions in Malaysia, Singapore, I did acquisitions in Middle East. Harsh doesn't get into anything. Okay, Harsh only does review. So why you acquiring? What benefits you will get? So he has a notebook. Okay, in notebook he will write it down. Okay, and if it gets into his notebook means that you better, do what you have said, because he will continually review. He is good in innovations. He is good in accepting or give you chance to fail. So biggest traits, if I tell, first is get better people, give them complete freedom, review them, and he's very good on numbers. So say 4-5 people pitched, right? Okay. For example, he will not understand blockchain at all. First thing he will tell, I don't understand this. Then, if you give a speech for half an hour, he'll put it in a point where it simplifies for you. He will tell what is needed for this business to be successful without understanding blockchain at all. So, simplifying complicated stuff, he is very good in it. Now, that is what I learned from him. Now, if you ask me, okay, I did complete. From CFO I moved to CEO, and then all throughout I was investing. Then I became an entrepreneur. Currently I have a eclairs business, chocolate eclairs business based out of Dubai, and it's our own brand. The factory is in Dubai, and we sell in 19 countries. Okay. We started last year, only last year, and in the next 6 months, okay, we are launching one more category. So in the next 6 months, our run rate would be INR 50 crores plus. And what is important is not the turnover. What is important is not also profit. What is important is it is into profit and we are into cash. So I have investors, because of my background in investments, I have investors who wants to invest in my business, but I am not taking money because I don't need money. Okay, and why should I dilute when I don't need money? So first lesson, and this lesson is from Adi Godrej has been talking about it, but initially it was not Adi Godrej, it was someone else. So remember this. First lesson was from Harsh, second lesson from Adi Godrej. This is sales. Have you anyone heard this? Sales is vanity. Profit is sanity. Cash is reality. So when I say profit is vanity, when I say 50 crores, it doesn't give me kick. It's just 50 crores, but what profit is I making? What cash I have? That is more important. So profit is sanity and cash is reality. So when I'm saying that next year we'll do 50 crores, okay, it doesn't matter whether we do 50 or 40. What matters is today we are profitable. What matters is today we have cash. Okay, so even if I don't get 50 crores, it doesn't matter. Whether I am able to, whether I am profitable and going to be profitable, whether from the internal accrual of profit cash, whether I am going to deploy and not take a loan or not borrow from money. Because the more I delay, the better valuation I get. Imagine 50 crores. Okay, I am profitable and we have cash, right? So imagine from 3 years now, okay, what will be the turnover? If in the second year it is 50 crores, what will be the turnover? Best guess. Huh? So let me tell you, we sell in advance. This 50 crores is with advance. So which means that if I were to give credit, okay, this turnover would have been minimum 150 crores. This is in advance. Last month we were signing a agreement with a renowned distributor in Middle East. So he said that Nestle give me 60 days advance, and you are telling me to sign an agreement, and you want to do business in advance. Nestle gives 60 days. You are a small business. You want to do it in advance. He said yes. Okay, we said, sir, what profit you make for Nestle and what profit you make for us makes a big difference. Okay, we don't want any working capital blocked in our business, apart from some for strategic reasons. So whatever business we do is completely on drafts or advance check, including in war-laden countries, where you don't know the consignment will reach or not. If the consignment doesn't reach, we have insurance, we'll get the money back, we'll pay back the distributor, but everything is in cash. So now imagine 50 crores next year in advance, which is why we are profitable, which is why we are into cash. Now, if I delay this journey, and this is equally for you all also, people are pitching, which is nice, but when you pitch, today you're looking at whatever is the valuation, 5 crore, 10 crore, you're diluting 10%, 20%, and when you get an investor, he will squeeze you, to dilute more. What is the problem of investors? Okay, they want to make their return. What is the problem of entrepreneur? They don't have that money which people will squeeze you. Now, if you know that you have a very good business plan, a good brand, a good offering, okay, and you are confident that you're going to scale it up, try to dilute as later as possible. Say 50 crores today, I have a valuation where investors are willing to invest at 2 times sales, which is 100 crore valuation. Now, if I dilute 10% at 100 crores, I'll get 10 crores. But why should I dilute? I don't need money. Now, if the same turnover, forget 300 crores, someone said in 3 years, even if it becomes 150 crores in 3 years and I dilute then I'm diluting at 2 times 150 crores is 300 crores, 10% of 300 crores is 30 crores. This kind of money I will not need for the business. It's FMCG. FMCG is not about, investments. FMCG is about brand and rotation. So here comes the third story. So first story I told about Harsh. Second story I told about Adi Godrej. Third story, I'm a learner. I learn from anyone and everyone. Okay, today I also learn many things which I can share later. So for example, this is what I learned. I'm a chartered accountant, but I never, and a cost accountant, I never understood this until I was in the market. This was from a small retailer. Okay. So what he taught me unknowingly has been the basis of me evaluating a business. Has been my basis of actually investment. I'll tell you this story. This was in 2007. I was in a remote market in Chittagong. So we were selling parachute, a small bottle. That was the smallest bottle which we had, which was for 50 ml. That 50 ml bottle we were selling to this retailer at 9 rupee 50 paise, and he was supposed to sell at 10 rupee. This retailer was little big retailer, so you can tell him, he's kind of, a big retailer, semi-wholesaler kind of guy. Now imagine if we are giving him at 9.5 and he's selling at 10. I go to him, I say, why you are selling not at 10? When you are buying at 9.5 and you are selling at 10, you get 5% margin. Why you are selling only at 10 paise margin? You were selling at 10 paise margin.
Income velocity.
Yes. So he explained me a concept which I never forgot in life. You all, someone said dew point, very good. Someone said dew point. Now dew point is a very complicated subject which you will see in any MBA books, in a CFA book, in a CA book, in a costing book. Dew point has three things. Okay. Don't remember dew point, but I'm just saying dew point has three things. It's net profit by sales. Then, sorry?
Sales by net total assets.
Yes, sales by total assets. What is the third?
Total assets by debt. The leverage.
Total asset by equity. Yeah, right? So this is 2 point, three figures. Okay. When you these three things, when you derive means when you do a simplification,
ROE.
two things comes, which is
Net profit by equity.
return on investment, ROE. Now this retailer never knew dew point, right? So he was explaining me that my question to him is that you are buying at 9.5, why you are not selling at 10 and earning 5% margin? Why you are buying at 9.5 and only making 10% margin? So he explained to me, and this is the learning most of you would know, some of you would not know, but understand this concept. What he said to me is that you supply to me every week, once a week, right? So how many times I'm supplying to him? 52 times. So he said that what I do is that I'm selling at 10 paise. So when I invest in your business, the retailer is investing in the product. Okay, retailer is invested. He's saying you are supplying me 52 times. If I sell at 10 paise margin, I'm making 1%, but I'm rotating my capital 52 times. So I make 52% ROI. So he's saying that, sir, why should I wait? So when I'm making 52% ROI because I'm rotating faster, and when I'm giving to the guy at 10% margin, everyone will come to me only. So not only I get ROI, I get velocity. My sales also increase. So he taught me not only dew point, he taught me two big things. In business, there are only two types of business, broadly. One is which has quick rotations. The other is the margin. So ROI is a factor of rotation and margin. So if these are the two factors of business, we have to have a business which either has a high margin, less rotation, or low margin, higher rotation. If you get both, then to nothing. Then you create another Marico Bangladesh. If you get both, right? So So whenever you evaluate business, whether your business or anyone's business, evaluate on these two metrics: percentage margin and rotation. I'll explain to you how I use this in my business. Now, before coming to that, so now imagine this is so powerful. Everyone got me? I could explain to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that statement which I made, that sales is vanity, cash is sanity, sorry, profit is sanity, cash is reality. Now this, how I used. This is again a real life example. So first example, Harsh. Second example, Adi Godrej. Third example, retailer. So this example is from Adi Godrej. So when I went to Bangladesh, I have to set up operations, right? Operations means a factory, a 3P, investing on the brand, investing on sales and distribution, and I don't have money. I went to 3 banks. Okay. So Standard Chartered, Citibank, HSBC. That I need a limit of 1 crore. Limit. One of the bank gave me that limit, which was Citibank. The other 2 banks refused to give me limit. And Citibank took 6 months to give a limit. You know why? Because it's a new company. You would be facing that, right? So what I do now? So the entire business of Marico Bangladesh, okay, I also had a learning. The time when I was doing the business, Asian Paints had a big problem. They were selling on credit and they had a huge write-off. So I said I will only sell on cash. So that solved my 2 problems. One, limit problem. The other, the business was being sold on cash means what? It was solid. It was whatever was the demand. I was furnishing that demand. Now why I'm telling you this story is very close to my heart. This guy who gave me the limit from Citibank, his name is Xavier, moved to HSBC, and he was meeting me after 4-5 years. Okay, we maintained a very low profile in Marico Bangladesh before listing. So this guy comes and says, "Sir, we will give you a limit from HSBC." So he in his mind thought in 4-5 years our requirement would have increased by 2 times, 3 times, which is normal, right? So he said, "We can give you whatever limit you require." What limit you require? 2 crores, 3 crores? I said, "No, I don't need limit for my supply chain. I need a rate for fixed deposit." I said, "Fixed deposit?" I said, "Yes." I said, "How much is the amount?" I said, 100 crores. So we had a 100 crore bank balance in Bangladesh after funding all our requirement only because of 2 things: selling on advance and rotating. See, sometimes you cannot sell on advance, okay? Or if you get to a situation where you have negative working capital, no business can beat that business. If you have, brand power. So in Bangladesh, we had 26 days negative working capital, and we had brand power. As I said, when I left the business and came back to Dubai, we had a 76% market share. So we had brand power. Sometimes we don't have brand power, right? Specifically in the initial stages. So what you do then? Do things right. So now I'll give you my business example. This business is with partnership with a friend of mine who was my junior in school, 10 years junior to me. So he had a chocolate eclairs business. The business which you are doing, he had the same category, same business in a different brand name. He started in 2017-18. In that business I was not partner. He was sole proprietor. By 2019, he was into bad shape. And by 2021, we had to wrap up the business because his money, he was selling on credit. His money was stuck. Okay. See, when you sell on credit, suppose you are selling a business, you have a, say, I'm just for simplicity, I'm saying 10 months of 10% 10% margin and you are selling on credit. You're giving 3 months, you're giving 6 months, or say 10 months credit. So if you see this way, until unless you recover your third payment, if you're giving 3 months credit every month, 1 month each, if you're giving 6 months credit, if you don't recover the last installment, your profit is stuck there. So your profit in a credit business is always stuck until the last installment is paid. So this, my friend, my business partner Saju, because he is from Kerala, but brought up in Calcutta. So he had a brilliant product. His market access was brilliant, but his money got stuck. He lost $1 million, 8 crores. 8 crores is life saving, for many people, right? He lost that. But he did everything right for that business. And he was a sales and marketing guy. He established brands, okay, in that region. But because of one decision he made, so he came to me. So then we take up questions a little later. Yeah. So then I said, so let's start this business. Fresh business, fresh name. So only one condition I told him. Okay. First condition is that we will only sell on advance. Even if the turnover is 1/10 of your turnover, we'll sell only on advance. And second condition was, don't involve me in the business, because I left my job to do what I want to do. Okay, and I don't want my time to get stuck in one business. Okay, because I feel entrepreneurs, or let's put it above entrepreneurs, problem with anyone is two when you do a business. First is your money, second is your time. Now if you find a way where you can multiply the time, okay, so I am in that process of multiplying my time. I get good entrepreneurs in the listed space, mainly, not in unlisted, where I invest, and if they need any advice, I advise them. So I told him two conditions. First, sell on cash. Second is that I don't want to be involved in the business. One review a month, that's good enough. These two conditions, we started the business. And as I said, we are now, the way it's going, in 6 months time, we will cross, the run rate will be more than 50 crores. It has been profitable. It has been profitable within 6 months, and we have cash. We are still not there in negative working capital, because some of the items which we procure is from Malaysia, some from Iran, so because of raw materials, some from Europe. So because of the raw materials, and we don't have, for 50 crores is still small, right? We don't have that bulk to open LCs. So because of that, we are still not negative working capital, but we are 18 days working capital. 18 days in that market is amazing. If anyone is in Dubai, we are present in all modern trades. When I am saying all modern trades, I am talking of Lulu, Carrefour, Spinneys, everywhere. And as we speak, we are in 6 duty-frees of the world. And if everything goes well, by end of this year, we will be in 46 duty-frees of the world. So, sorry if I've been, Bangla bole jodi gyan diye thaki, sorry, because people talk about their success. I failed a lot of times, right? But as I said, I never repeated the same mistake. Okay, I was almost bankrupt. Okay, so there is a YouTube. I don't normally speak since Arun asked me to speak. I spoke. I don't speak about entrepreneurship. And normally there are 2-3 videos which I maybe one video and one small.
One I have seen it in your YouTube.
Yeah, so there's one on investments where I spoke for 3.5 hours or 3 hours SYC. You can see that. That will give you how I invest. So basically by heart I'm an investor, not an entrepreneur. But I work with entrepreneurs, whoever needs any help whatever can I do. But thank you for hearing.
Thank
And
you.
If you have learned little bit good, if you have not learned, remain in this. Thank you.
আপনাদের আজকের ভিডিওটা কেমন লাগলো অবশ্যই জানাবেন। আপনারা অবশ্যই জানাবেন কমেন্ট সেকশনে, এই ভিডিওর নিচে কমেন্ট সেকশনে আপনারা অবশ্যই জানাবেন, এবং এই চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করতে ভুলবেন না এবং লাইক এবং শেয়ার করতে ভুলবেন না। আপনাদের যদি ভালো লেগে থাকে এরকম আরও যদি আপনারা বিজনেস স্পিচ দেখতে চান বা আপনারা যদি এরকম ইভেন্টে আসতে চান, অবশ্যই আমাদের সাথে কোলাবোরেট করতে পারেন। অবিশ্বাস জ্ঞানে নিচে ডেসক্রিপশনে লিঙ্ক দেওয়া হয়েছে, অবশ্যই আসবেন, সাবস্ক্রাইব করতে ভুলবেন না। তাহলে নমস্কার, আজকে আসি।